the holiday season. You wouldn't know it because I don't have any decorations up. I'm not even in a Christmas jumper, but that's because it's the beginning of November when I'm filming this. And I just couldn't put the jumper on yet. I'm just not there yet. I'm sure Marco, my editor, can put some Christmassy things popping up around me. Huh? Okay, that's better. So if you know somebody that's going to be visiting London in 2020, I'm going to tell you some really good gifts that you can get them that will make their trip a lot better. Or if you're the one who's going to London, take this video and send the link to it to all of your friends and family so they know what to buy you for the holidays. Okay, let's start with some smaller stocking stuffers. An umbrella is a really good one for people who are visiting London because no matter what time of year that someone visits, they might run into some rain. So if you can get them a little travel umbrella, they're super easy to fit into a bag or a backpack and a lot easier to carry around just in case it ends up raining. Now, on the flip side, those travel umbrellas don't do very well in the rain. No, they do well in the rain. They don't do very well with wind. So actually, some people will probably prefer to carry around a bigger, stronger umbrella so that it actually fits a couple people comfortably underneath it and it can withstand the crazy wind that sometimes comes with the rain in London. So I will put links to both types of those umbrellas in the description box of this video. And just so I don't have to keep repeating myself, everything that I mentioned in this video, I will have links to where you can buy them and more information and things like that. All right. Wait for like 10 minutes, Win, just stop. A refillable water bottle or coffee cup. So London is really trying to crack down on not having tons of plastic and also non-recyclable coffee cups all around the city. So it's pretty easy to find places to refill refillable water bottles. And also, if you are getting a gift for somebody who likes to take their coffee on the go with them, lots of cafes around the city are now giving discounts on drinks for people who bring in their own refillable coffee cup. So those are two really good gifts that both help save the environment, but also can save money too. Most foreigners are going to need to get a power adapter to be able to plug any of their electronics into the wall here in the UK. But this is something that I feel like most travelers, or maybe it's just me, always forget to pack. It's like this little thing that's really important, but it's kind of hard to remember. And then it's very annoying when you get to the airport and you remember that you forgot to bring in an adapter. And then you have to go into one of those shops and buy a really expensive one and you already have a million of them at home. Okay, yes, that is me. But if you can get somebody a pack of power adapters for the UK and also wherever else they might be traveling anytime soon, that is a nice small little gift that will definitely come in handy. Oyster Card is how people pay for public transportation in London, and visitors can actually order Oyster Cards to their home before they get to the UK. And this actually can make a really good gift because you can order this Oyster Card for somebody and also preload it with a bunch of money so that you're essentially giving somebody the gift of free public transportation on their trip. And it really adds up. I mean, I personally would love to get a loaded up Oyster Card for Christmas because I spend a lot of money on public transportation. Yes, it's not the sexiest idea in the world, but it's practical and will be very much appreciated. If you're getting a gift for somebody who travels quite a bit, then I would consider getting a lounge pass. So I've had a lounge pass for the last couple of years because it's come with a couple of different credit cards that I've had. And it is like one of the most luxurious travel treats that I think I have ever had. So how a lounge pass works is usually, okay, sirens. Cool. Okay. So how a lounge pass works is that you usually pay for a yearly membership and it gets you into like a couple thousand lounges around the world. and you either pay nothing or you pay like a small nominal fee every time that you use it. It just depends on what kind of pass that you get. So the one that I personally have that I love is the Priority Pass. I would recommend that one, and I'll have the link down to that, or the link to that down in the description box of this video. But it really is so nice, especially because if you're buying gifts for someone who's coming to London, Heathrow and Gatwick have quite a few options for lounges that they'll be able to use certain passes in. Oh, say hello, Louis. Say hello. What do you want for Christmas, Louis? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. If the person you're getting a gift for is traveling to London in the colder months, then a really nice gift can be to get them things to help them stay warm while they're walking around the city, but also still look London-y and stylish. So instead of going to the usual fashion brand retailer that is like polluting the planet and selling you clothing that falls apart after 2 washes, I would recommend spending a little bit more so that you can give something that's going to last a while, and also ideally try to find companies that sell items that they make sustainably and also that are made ethically. So I would recommend having a look at Everlane. They do really good basics that are made really well and also made sustainably and ethically. If you want smaller ideas or smaller gifts, then have a look at their scarves and their hats and their gloves, that kind of range, because everybody needs that when it's cold. If you want to go for a bigger item, then I would suggest a jacket, and Everlane does some really nice jackets as well. So have a look at their trench coats. Their trench coats are very British looking and they're perfect for fall or spring weather. And also they have really nice heavier coats. A lot of them are actually made with recycled polyester and other recycled materials. So if you're getting somebody a coat, that can be a little bit of a anticlimactic gift, but if you can give somebody a gift where it has a little bit of a story behind it and you can explain how that gift was made and where it's come from and how it's more sustainable for the earth, then I think it makes it just a little bit more special. Okay, luggage is something that travelers always need, but don't want to buy for themselves, but love getting as gifts. So I would definitely have a look at giving luggage as a gift. I always recommend people get hard shell suitcases, and that's because I had a pretty bad incident in Vietnam when I was on an internal flight, and my checked bag was a fabric suitcase, and somebody had checked in a case of fish or something, and then I got to my hotel after the flight and my whole room stunk of fish because the fish juice had spilled all over my suitcase and also went through the suitcase and onto some of my clothes. So I had to get rid of that suitcase and also those clothes because there was no coming back from that. Fish stank. So I always recommend doing hard shell because you avoid that problem. Obviously it's water resistant and also they're just a lot more durable. Also, if you think you have a traveler who has already a really big suitcase for like 2.5 week trips and then also a carry-on size, a really good in between and a really good gift that no one's ever gonna buy for themselves, but they would love to get is that like in between suitcase. I know personally for me, if anyone's trying to get me a Christmas gift, that is something I would love because I go on a lot of trips where I don't want to take my huge suitcase with me. I don't need that much room, but I don't want to just do carry-on only. So I would recommend having a look at Away. They make really nice suitcases, and their suitcase that's called the Middle is that good in between. They also have really nice carry-ons where they have battery packs inside the suitcase, so you can plug in your phone or your devices into the suitcase when you're at the airport and you need some juice. There's also a company that's called Horizon Studios, and they have battery packs in their suitcases as well, even in the checked bags. There are a couple of really good tour companies in London that actually give gift cards, and if you can get somebody a gift card for a tour, it's much better than just booking tickets for a tour because they get to pick which tour that they do and also which day and which time that they actually go on the tour. So the couple of companies that I recommend are Eating Europe. They do food tours in London, but also all around Europe, and and they're really, really good. In fact, I would encourage you to recommend to your giftee that they book the East End tour, because they not only get to eat well, but they'll learn about the eclectic East End and also see a bunch of street art. It's very cool. And there's another company called Urban Adventures. And Urban Adventures is a worldwide company. They have tours all around the world in almost every single major city, but they focus on responsible travel. So they make sure that their tours are never taking away from the local economy or the local culture, but instead are adding to it. So you can get gift cards for both of those companies. I always recommend people who come to visit London that they do an afternoon tea experience. It is very British, and it's also just a really nice thing to do in an afternoon. You get sweets and little sandwiches, and you get tea and coffee. And we have all different types of experiences, ranging from more budget options and very classic traditional teas, all the way to very unique themes or really super high-end and luxurious ones. So I think the best way, if you want to give somebody the gift of being able to do that, is to buy them an afternoon tea experience voucher. And you can do this on these like gift experience sites, kind of like Virgin Experience Days, where you can buy them a voucher and then they call the venue to book for whatever day and time that they actually want to use the voucher for. So a couple of things before you use one of these sites. The first is that you want to check the validity of how long the voucher is going to last for, and make sure that that aligns with whenever the person you're getting this gift for, that their trip is going to be, so that they can actually use it. And secondly, some of the offerings on these websites are really terrible, and they're the ones that are the cheapest. So a lot of times people go for them because they're not very expensive, but they're just really like not even worth the money. So it's better to go for the more higher end experiences and pay a bit more so that it's actually enjoyable for your gift recipient. And what I've done is, in the description box, I've given links to the specific afternoon tea experience vouchers that I think are worth the money and that are for venues that are really good. So have a look at those before you look at anything else. The same thing goes for food and drink experiences. You can buy these on these voucher sites like Virgin Experience Days. And a lot of times you can actually find really good deals for weekday lunchtime meals at Michelin-starred restaurants or just very high-end restaurants, because these restaurants never have enough people coming in during the week for lunchtime. So they give really good like tasting menu deals or percentages off for set menus and stuff like that. But again, the same thing goes for the food and drink experiences. Some of them are going to be absolute rubbish. Like I've seen vouchers for just like chain restaurants not dissimilar to, say, like Olive Garden in the US, and there's just such better things that you can get if you just pay a little bit more. So again, I'll have links to specific ones that I recommend in the description box. London has world-class theaters, so buying somebody theater tickets would be a really lovely gift, especially if they're visiting in the winter when the activities that people can do are a lot less limited because the weather's not so good. Giving tickets for the theater is a little bit trickier, just because you'll need to figure out which day and evening or afternoon that your recipient is going to be free and doesn't have anything else booked for their trip, and then you'll have to buy the tickets for that time and make sure that they keep that time reserved. But it's still such a lovely gift. I mean, I think everybody who likes theater remotely would love to get a pair or a few tickets to a really nice show in London's West End. Personally, a couple of my favorites are the Book of Mormon, which, if you're easily offended by religious humor, that's not going to be the show for you. But it's one of my favorite. It's hilarious, and it's really good for if you have a couple of people in your group that aren't very into theater, because it's so funny. It's hilarious. And The Lion King is amazing for both children and adults. There's Wicked, there's 42nd Street, but there's loads and loads of options. And you can have a look at lastminute.com to see what kind of ticket deals they're offering at the moment too. If your gift recipient is really busy and honestly isn't going to really have the time to be able to do hours of research to plan their itinerary for their trip, then why don't you gift them the 3-day London itinerary? So this is my itinerary, and it has your first 3 days in London completely planned for you. However, it's really flexible, so it gives a lot of variation for different budgets, different travel styles, and just whatever that your recipient is going to end up wanting to do when they're in London. So there's a ton of variation. It's not just do this, do this, do this, do this. Lots of recommendations. So you're gonna wanna get the 2020 version of the London itinerary, which is coming out at the end of January. So what you can do is, I've put a link in the description box of this video where you can purchase a gift certificate for somebody to get the itinerary once it's launched. And once it's launched, it'll just end up right in their inbox, easy peasy. So just make sure that their trip obviously happens after the end of January for that to happen. And I do have a special deal for people who are watching this right as this video has been published. So check that out in the description box of this video too to see how you can get a bit of money off of the 2020 version. Okay, if the person you're getting a gift with, So if the person that you're getting a gift for loves taking photos on their trip but doesn't have really good gear, I have two options for you for what you can get them. The first is a phone. So I know a lot of people don't want to carry an actual camera. That is totally understandable. So the phone that I use is called the Google Pixel 4. I just got that sent to me by Google, but I've been using the Pixel 3 for the last year, and I take all of my photos on my travels and on my Instagram account with either of those phones, and now it's with the 4. The Google Pixel 4 especially takes really incredible photos without having to really know that much about how to take good photos, but it's especially good at taking photos in low light. So they come out really nice, even if it's really dark in like the bar or you're in a restaurant or something, you can still get really amazing photos that are really well lit. And again, you can look at my Instagram account to see the photos that I've taken with that phone. Or if you think your recipient will want a proper camera, then I would recommend having a look at the Canon M50. It's actually the camera that I'm filming on right now. It's what I use for work. And if I do take an actual camera with me on my travels, then I take this camera and take all my photos and videos on this. It's a mirrorless camera, so it's as powerful as one of those bigger DSLRs, but it's not as big. So it's a lot easier to carry around for travel, and it can fit into smaller bags, and it's just not as heavy. I don't really like carrying around heavy cameras like at all. Plus it's more discreet, so it's easier to keep it safe if you're traveling out and about. Okay, let me know in the comments which of these things either you're gonna ask for Christmas because you're the one who's coming to London, or you're thinking might be a good gift for somebody who's visiting London. And if you want more tips for someone, whether it's you or somebody else, who will be visiting London next year, then watch one of the videos that's popping up right below me.